Hey, good morning, everyone. It is 8:30 and change on Monday, September 20th. And as you can see, I am not Tim Lindsay. I guess the easiest way to tell that is because right now we're going to have a moment of silence. Feels kind of weird, doesn't it? Love you, Tim. But he's probably still talking today. I mean, wherever he might be. And today is Monday, what I say, the 20th, and I'm waiting for Jason to join us here, and I'm sure that he'll be along shortly. And when he does come in, we will make a grand entrance and get him in here and have some fun. But I wanted to start off today by making sure that we're all clear on what's going on the calendar. And so, being the 30th, I got a whole bunch of stuff here. I'm looking at the calendar right now. Right now, of course, you missed the if you didn't miss the pivot shift ahead with James Shaw. That happened at 8:30, as it does every morning. And of course, you got us here right now, and we're going to be talking about students of industry, which is kind of the whole month here. We're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff here today, as well as throughout the rest of the month. And the KW Ignite today the topic is seller appointments. So if you are in the Keller Ignite, make sure that you check that out. That is on the Zoom room, the KW. What is that? Which one is that? Let's see if I can get the exact address for that for you here. That is KellerIgnite.com. That is correct. So www.KellerIgnite.com. If you click on it in the morning news and you get a little security warning, retype it and type in www.KellerIgnite.com and see what happens. I think that should work for you. I did see a couple of people last week had mentioned that there might have been some difficulty with that, but that should get you there. And if not, of course, you can reach out to anybody here at the marketplace and we can get you squared away. Let's see what else we got. So moving on from there, we've got Ask the Broker at 1 p.m. today. So Ask the Broker with Jen, and that is going to be also on Zoom, and I believe that is the KellerTV.com, and that is indeed where it is. So Keller TV at 1 o'clock for Ask the Broker with Jen Vachon. And I'm not sure if Jason, when Jason joins me here, we're going to find out if it's going to be with him or just with Jen. But in either case, you are guaranteed to get some good information, and because you're going to be asking the questions. And kind of remember, that's the key to this whole thing is get in there and ask the questions. And good morning, Victoria. Glad to have you here, and all of you who are joining. Coming in off the weekend, I hope you all had a good weekend. Oh, and by the way, one more thing on the calendar for today is 2 o'clock is me, just little old me in the lab. And the lab opens up at 2, and that is at kwtechtv.com. Keep in mind that the lab is actually one of the easiest, when you think about it, it's the easiest way to get in front of me and to ask a question. And I know that we don't get, every single one of our 700 and some odd agents joining in on the quick starts and learning about all these tools. But if somebody asks you, hey, where do I find a quick answer to a question about command? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock on the kwtechtv.com, which is my Zoom room, which is where I'm standing right now. And you can ask a quick question and just get your questions answered. Think of it this way. You can get on my calendar at timewithrobert.com, and that is, I encourage anyone to book some time on my calendar. But remember, the time on my calendar is just 30-minute slot. It's a dedicated time slot with you, and it's for really learning and education to move you forward. It's not something where you want to book that time as an emergency, like, I need an answer now. If you need an answer now, of course, you can reach out to me at robert.vincent@kwclm. That's my email, and you can always get in touch with me there. But remember, that's what the labs are for, is so that on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, you have access to me and hopefully, all of the answers to any of your questions. And the questions that I get run the gamut all the way through, who should I talk to about something, and all the way down to, can you help me quickly just make a campaign or find out what's going on with my email or something like that. So it's a fast way, 3 times a week from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, to just jump in. You don't have to make any appointments. Just come on in and do that. So we're happy to have you here, have you do that as well. So again, Jason, where are you? We'd love to have you here. I'd love to check in with you about your weekends. I know that there was a lot going on this weekend. It was an absolutely beautiful weekend, and I managed to bang myself up pretty good out in the yard doing some work, but I'm surviving, and I hope you all did too. And here we are. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the topic for the month, really, which is our the whole thing about student of industry. We talked last week briefly about what the training here at KWCLM looks like, and it's exciting because we have so many different things that you can learn at so many different ways. Of course, we have the Zoom rooms that you can just jump in and participate in. And we also have the Keller Williams University, KW University. And I don't know if a lot of you have taken the opportunity to just even see what that's all about. The KW University is available. You can get directly to it off of your mykw.kw.com home site, the internet here. And if you just go to education, it'll take you there. It is an absolutely astounding source of knowledge and information. And I encourage you, if you have not gone to KW University, KWU, check it out, because there's so many different instructors and there's always live classes going on. As a matter of fact, today there's a couple of different courses going on through KW Connect, which is KWU and the whole connection there. And one of them is at 1:00. It's Rekindling Relationships with Past Leads. And that's a fantastic topic in itself. You might have had a bunch of leads that have kind of just, you feel like they're dying off, or you haven't really connected with them in a while. So you can absolutely join in that learning experience today. And that is going to be at 1:00. And which is at 12 o'clock in Central, which is 1:00 our time here. So there's also going to be another one at 3:00, which is leveraging KW commercial to build a 6-figure real estate business as a residential agent. And I talk to a lot of different agents out there, and they're always thinking about different ways to kind of expand their business. Well, now you can use KW Commercial to expand as a residential agent, and this is what this course is going to be about. So just looking at that one thing alone, if you just go over to KW Connect and take a look at their calendar, you're going to be blown away. And I brought up their calendar. As a matter of fact, let me just show you. We have and actually, I'm not going to show you because it's a little bit of the screen is a little bit small there. Take a moment to seek out all of the training opportunities that we have here, and I think that you're going to be quite amazed. To throw more into the mix, because this is all about information, we have, of course, who said that there? That is Sue. Good morning, Sue. And Allie, good morning, Allie. So one of the things that we've done, and since I've got my own platform, my own soapbox here this morning, and I haven't got Jason with me yet, and Tim is out for the day, I'm going to go ahead and jump on that soapbox and talk to you about some of the things that I'm trying to do, just as doing them for you guys and trying to put things together. We have so many different things that we're offering, and I can totally understand why we sometimes get feedback that says, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to attend because there's so much. How do I zero in on what I'm looking for? And whatever that might be. If you're looking for answers, literally, you just need a quick answer on something. Well, that's a great place to go. The Tech Lab is a great place to go for that, because that's what that's for. We're trying to get you into the Tech Lab, and quick answers there. The other place that we can go here is if you go to the KW YouTube channel. And in the YouTube channel, we've got the KWTechTube.com. The KWTechTube.com YouTube channel is a great place to see all of the live trainings that we've done and go ahead and revisit them. Now, if you haven't been over there, you can subscribe at KWTechTube.com. It's a good old-fashioned YouTube channel. You're familiar with how this works. You go and you subscribe to the channel, and you're going to get notified when not only new content is being streamed live, which is, of course, Tuesdays and Thursdays, but anytime that we have something that was added to the playlists there, you'll be notified. So this is a great way to go and find out a lot of information about Command, especially Command 101. The Command 101 courses that we hold that restart every month, they're all loaded up into that KWTechTube.com. And you can go there and you can start they're all dated. So if you wanted to watch September's Command 101 class, you just go over there and hit the Command 101 playlist and find September 1 and just play from there. I mean, it's a great way to get caught up on a lot of this information. And one of my favorite things about YouTube is that you can speed it up. And I think that is, for me, the best way, because it's sometimes, people talk about things and repeat them over and over and repeat them over and over. And I tend to do that. Right, Jason?
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. So if you find that you're hearing me yammer on a little bit too much, you can go ahead and speed it up to your liking. And you can also pause it and rewind it, which is, in a way, I mean, you're getting the live classes that we teach, but you're also getting them on demand so that you can slow down and kind of review the information, look at a screenshot without it disappearing too fast, watch where the mouse is going and things like that. So take advantage of that, and I think you'll really appreciate some of the cool stuff we have there. And we're going to be doing some really cool stuff coming in October. I can't tell you yet what it is, but we're doing some new stuff, and I'm really excited about that. And basically, I'm going to drop you a little hint. A continuous education on DocuSign. Huh?
Uh-oh. Who said that?
Who said that? Jason, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, where you been? What have you been doing?
I was playing broker this morning.
Playing broker.
Yeah.
So just playing, not actually being. Just playing.
No. I'm not a broker. I just play one on the Zoom channel.
Yeah, on the Zoom channels. Right. So when you took that test, was that like double hard, or was it 3 times harder than a real estate exam? What was that all about?
So people will say all the time that the salesperson. So I became a salesperson in 2003. So people say how many times did it take you to pass it? And we go down that conversation. They say, well, the test now is harder. I don't know if that's true or not. I took it a long time ago. I will tell you that the broker exam, I've been an agent a long time. Anybody that knows me would tell you that I would have a conversation or debate with anybody about real estate. When I did the broker's exam, there was a few things on there. I was like, I don't even know what that means. So, I did go back and look it up. I am that guy. Anybody that knows me personally will tell you that I am, Google / encyclopedia. If somebody says something, I don't believe it, which is about 95% of the time. I will go look it up. Right. So yeah, I'm a useless vat of useless stats. So if anybody ever wants to go out and play the trivia game, I'm really good.
There you go.
With music and very useless information. So as far as the broker's exam go, yes, it's hard. I would say that it's they set these tests up, and I say this to Shannon, she laughs. PSI is the name of the company that does the testing, and they make their money off of you taking the test, if you get my drift. Yeah. So I don't like the way the stuff is worded. I don't think it tests your ability or not ability to know something. It really does throw a wrench into how they do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not a good, in my opinion, gauge. And I probably shouldn't say that as the broker, but the test is extremely hard. Yes.
Yeah. So you're saying that it's worded to make you really focus on the meaning of every single word.
So, for instance, they have this one. I'm going to give you the CNN version of this one. Everything in the broker exams is scenario based, right? You take your salesperson. It's like, how many days do you have to notify the state if you moved? How many days do you have to notify the state if you change brokerages? What needs to be on your signs? Like, that's your salesperson exam. Your broker exam is like this. Robert Vincent wants to buy a property. He comes to you and says, hey, my friend wants to sell his camp in the woods. You and Robert go out to the property. You look at it. Robert then has a home inspector come out. The home inspector notices that there is a broken window. Your friend says, my camp doesn't have a broken window. That doesn't even look like the windows that are in my camp. Do you A, call the inspector and argue with him? Do you B, call your friend and argue with him? Or do you C, not write an offer? I don't think that's not none of the above. Like, if your friend is saying that's not my property, I think C would be try to find out where the property was.
Yeah.
And then I look back and say to myself, I would do that before I even went. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be like, well, Robert owns property on Bow Lake. It must be that one. It's a nice house. Let's break in and take a look. You know what I mean? Like, the test is horrible, and the broker test is like, so there's A, B, and C. There's A, B, C, D. There's four answers. One is totally wrong. One is not really right. One is kind of right. And one's the best answer. So
best answer.
Yes. And like, I'm reading, I'm like, none. You know what I mean? Like,
You're over
A,
there.
B, or C. Where is E? None of the
Yeah,
above.
yeah. You're making a little bubble for E.
Yeah, I'm like, that's the way the test and the broker test. It's kind of the same way. It's like they word it into the point where like they stick you into this rabbit hole situation. You're like, I would never be here. I wouldn't put myself here, right? And maybe it's because of the training that I get at Keller Williams. I know that like read the deed, read the deed. We teach this. Read the tax card. Know what you're talking about. You
Hmm.
know, but I wouldn't just be. The seller says those ain't his windows. What do you do? Argue with the home inspector.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
So, which is gonna, yeah, that's gonna get you a long ways. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Oh my
crazy.
gosh. Well, plays into the whole month here of student of industry. How long did you end up studying for that test?
So well, I've passed, so let's be honest. I zero. Um, I studied honestly, like so. I wasn't worried about the state stuff. I wasn't. I really wasn't. It's the national stuff. So I did
Hmm.
not study a whole lot for it, and by that I mean like you really should. I kind of went off of my experience and got lucky.
Hmm.
Um, in sense like I said, there's some stuff on there. Regulation Z. Regulation Z is banking laws.
Hmm.
Like, why do I need to know about Regulation Z? I asked Jen Vashon, I'm like, hey, have you heard of Regulation Z? She's like, no, let's Google it. So it's like, but that's on the broker's exam. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah, there's just a lot of stuff on there that's really weird. And of course, that's who I am as a person. I literally ran out to my car. I had the AMP's book to being a broker. It's a book about this thick, and with a highlighter, like flipping pages. Like I wasn't 100% sure on this. I don't know if I got that. I didn't even know what this meant. So I like literally sat in my office. Chris Dunn now has my book, and yes, I'm calling him out. Chris, if you don't give me my book back, I'm coming for you. Because Chris wants to, and I'm like, this is all on the test, and this is all the stuff that's like we don't teach, we don't know. Like I don't know banking. I had to go to Brad Kelly. Brad Kelly helped me with Regulation Z.
Oh
Like
my gosh.
so yeah, it's aggressive. I will tell you that the hardest part about the broker exam, honestly, is the paperwork. After you pass your test, okay, that's great. It's the paperwork you got to send into the state. You have to send in 6 transactions. You have to explain what your role was in the transaction, whether you were 50% in or not 50% in. You then have to have Nathan sign off on all the deals that you did, those deals. Plus, he has to sign up another piece of paper that says you worked for him for at least 2,000 full time hours, like in the last 2 years. Like it's a lot, and it's
Wow.
like, yeah. And of course, trying to track Nate down is kind of hard. Thank God for Susanna.
Oh,
Thank
no
you,
kidding.
Susanna. She's like, leave it here. I'll get him to do it. She'd call me back. She's like, I made him come down. So I'm like, thank you. But yeah, I mean, the paper, and then you send it off to the state, and the whole time you send it off, you're like, I hope this is all right. Because the state looks at it, sits on a desk for a month, they mail it back, you have to fix it. That's what happened. My first license was like that. When I
Hmm.
got my salesperson, my broker filled out the broker affidavit wrong. She signed in the wrong spot. It took months.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah, if you're gonna become a broker, Shannon's class is amazing. I took it in 2018. It's a really good it's a good thing to do. I would
Hmm.
tell you that I think you're going to see some changes happening in licensing law in the next 10 years. I don't know 100% what, but my guess would be something along the lines of real estate versus commercial. I think
Hmm.
you're also going to see something with the broker's license with probably some kind of a master's degree in business.
Oh, no kidding. Oh,
I,
good
we,
times.
we're a society that this is becoming, as anyone that will tell you that's been in the business the last at least 10 years, the the paperwork is getting to be a lot. The
Hmm.
knowledge that is needed because of today's requirements is a lot, right? And
Hmm.
I've always said, Gary said 5 years ago, if you're not building a team or on a team, you're going to be out of business. And I truly agree with that. Like, I'll have that fight with anybody to the day I die. Robert, me and you back in the day when you broke your arm, you went and saw the doctor. He looked at it, maybe X-rayed it. They put a cast on it. 8 weeks later, he cut it off. He gave you a lollipop and kicked you out the door. Now it's you got to go get a specialist.
Hmm.
Somebody's got to look at it. An X-ray tech needs to look. You know what I mean? Like I think real estate's going to be the same way. I
Yeah.
think the teams are going to be like Robert's the land guy, Jay's the multifamily guy,
Hmm.
so and so is going to be the residential person on the team. You know what I mean? Like I think it's going to get to the point where because people want the data so fast,
Hmm.
it's too hard to say I'll go find it. Even in the world of Google,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Like if you don't know what you're doing right off the bat, like we
Hmm.
teach it here. Like my land class is insane. To come to the class and learn what the LSA form is really all about, what it's used for. Like I get 60 people show up to this, and I think people want the data so fast that I think it's the future, and I think brokerage is going to be the same way. I mean, that look at the role Nathan put me in,
Yeah.
right? Jen is obviously my boss. She's really good at certain things, and then any land and new construction stuff gets kicked over to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I the brokerage is setting it up that way. So I mean, if anyone's out there and watching these videos, if you really want to see how to build a real estate company, all you need to do is look at your boss. Look at Nathan. Like he is doing it at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
Right when I started here, right? Me and Melissa started back. I think 2 hours apart. She was walking out of the TL office as I was walking in to sign up. So, back then there was 4 people ran this company. It was Nate. Honestly, Brad Kelly was Nate's assistant / the lender here.
Mm-hmm.
We had a front desk person. We had an MCA, and then we had a TL, John Duffy. There was 5.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What is there now?
Mm.
20. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah, I don't even know what the count in the office
You know what I
is up
mean?
to.
Like, yeah. I mean, we have more brokers than we had entire staff when I started. So if you want to see how to build a base or a bench, as Tim likes to say, like just
Mm-hmm.
look what Nate's doing.
Yeah.
Nate's putting people in place so that we have coverage everywhere.
Yeah.
And then he umbrellas out with title companies, UPM, like that's the model. If you guys
Mm-hmm.
want to, he's doing it by the model. So it's an amazing business. I love it. And you're always learning. I will tell you that again. I would have a real estate argument with anybody as of February 28th before I took this role officially, and I've learned more in the last 6 months about brokerage than I ever thought I would ever need to know. I mean, Jen is
Mm-hmm.
just like, well, what about this? Well, how do you look at that? And I'm just like, oh yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I'm not looking at it through the buyer agent or the seller. I'm looking at it through both plus the brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So
So
for
it's
those of you who are out there watching that are broker or that are new agents just joining in, and especially now that you're kind of engaging with the quick starts and all these different things, this is the team that surrounds you. This is what Nate has put together. The best of the best, the people that I can say this, and you may not understand it yet, but I'm coming up, as a matter of fact, in about 3 or 4 weeks, I'm coming up on my year anniversary here. And in the year that I've been here, I can tell you right now that there's a passion for what's going on here. People here care about people here and everywhere, but it's a real family environment here. And there's really nobody here that brushes people off and says, well, you're on your own. That just does not happen. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen with the simplest, most trivial of questions that you think are crazy. Somebody will engage you and try to get you to completely be comfortable with the answers and understanding, all the way on up to the really, really hard questions. If you need something answered that seems impossible, you've got Jen, you've got Jason, you've got Nate, you've got a team here that is going to sit down and say, all right, let's get this solved. Let's get the right answer for this. So as new agents joining this organization here, you really are in good hands. And speaking of, again, I'm trying to tie everything back into the month here, and being a student of industry. There are so many opportunities and so many people to go to, and we are honestly aware. And I started I'm going to wrap it all back around here, because I started by saying this morning that one of the things that is a challenge for new agents coming on board is who do I talk to, where do I go, how do I find this information, all the questions about process. So we're trying to make that easier for you. We've got a meeting today where we're going to be going over that and saying, all right, how can we do better? And we're always trying to do better for our agents, to provide them the right information at the right time, and to give them opportunities to explore information when they have time to go beyond what they know right now. We don't want you to have to always be in a situation where I need to know this right now. It's a panic situation. We don't like that. We don't want panic. What we want is you to have the knowledge in your pocket for the situations that arise. And when there is something that comes up that seems like, oh my gosh, I need an answer now, we want you to be able to find the right person, find the right answer, and solve the problem correctly, legally, and in the best interest of everybody involved. So, with that knowledge, know that the team is in place. We're just going to try and do better on helping you understand the breadth of the team, who to go to, and how to find the right information. So in the interim, before we're able to sort all that out, just know this: you got a broker in Jen Vashon who is at 1:00 today. Ask the broker. So it's a perfect time today. Mondays Ask the Broker. On Fridays is Back to Basics. You have 2 times a week where you're face to face with the brokers, and it's your time. Take advantage of that. And again, take advantage of it in the sense that ask questions in these environments that may not necessarily be like panic questions where you need an answer to right away, but ask questions about building your knowledge, grow your knowledge through these conversations, and observe other people and what they're asking and take notes, because you may not have that question today. But if you watch these series, the Ask the Broker and the Back to Basics, if you watch those series, you're going to be taking away knowledge that will be of value to you tomorrow or in 2 months. But the fact is, it will be valuable to you. Of course, you can access the brokers. And Jason, you are always giving out your phone number, which is
603-234-2589.
I saw that on one of the bathroom walls that I was at this weekend up in the mountains. I thought, man, this guy is everywhere.
It's probably true. Yeah, I mean, Robert, though, I mean, you're 100% right. Like, so for me, I tell people I came to I like to call it the golden years of Keller Williams, Coastal Lakes and Mountains, like, and everyone refers to their era as the golden year. I always say that I always had Nathan. Like, you'll hear me say that. I tell the story a lot. Like, I was able to just, like, literally, if he wasn't next door to me, walk down the hall and walk into his office and ask him a question.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why me and Jen tried to actually physically put ourselves in different offices. Jen's in North Conway. Thursday, I was in the Dover office. Jen was in North Conway. Today I'm in Meredith. We physically try to put ourselves in offices so that people feel comfortable to ask us anything.
Mm-hmm.
You do have opportunities to be in a room where you could pretty much ask contract classes. You're getting some of the best people in the business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have Alice teaching Maine. We have
Mm-hmm.
Karen Hamilton in teaching. Alice teaches Mass. Karen
Right.
Hamilton teaches Maine. Sometimes Sean Cody will cover that. Me and Jen do New Hampshire. You have Ask the Broker. You have Back to Basics. You also have night school on Thursday nights with me.
Mm-hmm.
It is an opportunity to come and ask, really, guys, anything you want.
Yeah.
If I had $1 for every time I asked Nate a question, and he would look at me and go, really? And I would be like, well, I just want your opinion on it. Well, I would do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, that's why, because I was going to do A, B, and C. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not only a time to question it. If you see a question that's on like Lab Coat Agent or the Seacoast Network, and you're just like, man, I wonder how my brokerage would answer that. I wonder what my brokerage would do. Write it down. Come and ask us. You know what I mean? Like it may not be a deal that you're not even involved with, but it might be something that could happen to you. I will tell you that no matter what you read on these web pages, because you will, Lab Coat Agent's like full of horror stories. It's awesome. I love it. If you ever want to have a Sunday and just go like, go to Lab Coat Agent, the Facebook page, and start reading some of the questions. It's epic. But it's one of those things that if you will come across these scenarios, it may not be the exact one, but it will be one type.
Mm-hmm.
And don't judge. I will tell you that, like, when we were in contract class back when we were live, Nate would come in and tell us about the live things that are going on. He would never give names. He's like, we're dealing with a case right now where it's this. And some of the people in the room would laugh. And I used to always say, like, don't laugh, because that could be you one day.
Yeah.
Because you won't know what you will do when you're pushed into it by a client or
Mm-hmm.
a situation that you may not know.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden it seems very elementary to us in the room speaking about it, but you don't know the true situation of what happened, and you don't ever want to get there.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not fun. I go to the commission now with Jen. I am on the Stratford County board. I see the mediation hearings. I read them when they come out. And some of the things that agents get caught for, I could see how it could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I tell people all the time, like, would you steal? No. Would you turn somebody in for stealing? No. These are the questions they ask when you work for Shaw's. I worked for Shaw's in high school. And then the next question says, if you saw a single parent in Shaw's with 2 children that looked like they were in need and they were stealing steaks, would you turn them in? No.
The moral question.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like when you get into it, and I'm not saying that you're going to do it, you're not going to go, do something illegal to save your children, which honestly, if you did, I get you back. But it's one of those things where you don't know what you do until a client pushes you. A client may just say, like, hey, this is what I want to do, like not disclose a bad septic. And all of a sudden, you're posting pictures of 2 car hoods and a trash bag as the septic system, which was just on our Facebook page. Right. So, it's one of those things where you sometimes you got to know where to stand strong. And I tell people all the time, if you need help, and you don't know what to say as far as like a situation where your client's pushing you back, all you need to say is, my broker said, I have your back. I love hard conversations. I grew up with an Irish Catholic Marine father. Conversations don't bother me.
Yeah, yeah, it's
So
easy. That's
that's
easy.
that's the easiest thing I've gotten when I did something wrong. So, it's one of those things that we are always here for you. Robert is 100% right. And if you call me and you ask me a question about command, I'm not the best with command. I'll tell you that right now. But I know who is. And if I can't get you in touch with Robert, I know admins that are
Oh,
really
was
good
that
with
me?
it. But I know ops managers, that are really good with it. Even if you're using Brivity, I know
Yeah.
people that are using, I may not know the answer, but I know the people that might be able to help you
Yeah.
in on that Saturday when you're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I have people call me all the time. Hey man, do you know where I can get some open house signs? Yeah, where are you? I have a truckload of them.
Mm-hmm.
You can borrow them. You know what I mean? Like we may not know the answers to everything. Robert may not broker questions, but Robert knows my cell phone number.
Yep.
I may not
Well.
know how to integrate 5 calendars on command, although I do. Robert taught me. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that I know how you can get in touch. If you need some scripting, I know how to get in touch with Tim. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like we are all here.
Yep.
We are your bench. We are
Yep.
your team.
We
And
are the
that's
bench. We are the team.
yeah.
Absolutely.
We right.
And
You're Brady. We're Belichick, and I'm going
our
back to the
whole
golden
goal
years.
is to build your business. Yeah. And build your business, build you, build. We're builders. That's it.
We're
On
builders.
that note, we're going to let you go. Ignite has started. It's kellerignite.com. And of course, remember Jen Vashon at 1 o'clock with Ask the Broker. And Ignite starts now. I'm in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I mentioned earlier about the additional classes on KW Connect. There's Rekindle Relationships with Past Leads. I'm going to try and peek in on that one. I think you should too. If you've got a database and you're wondering why it's languishing, reach out and check out this course. I think you'll get some good information on that. That's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow morning. I think Tim is back with us. Have an awesome day and stay out of trouble. And it's getting a little chillier outside, so grab a sweater on your way out the door. That's it. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.